Good afternoon, Enrique. Sorry, good morning, Enrique. How are you?
Good morning, Patrick. How are you? I'm fine.
You must be delighted with the weather. It's typical Galician weather here. It's pouring down in Madrid.
Delighted. Yeah, more than delighted. You know, I love this kind of weather because it's the weather that I'm accustomed to live uh, in.
And how do you say está lloviendo a cántaros?
Está lloviendo a cántaros. I remember some expression from UK. I think it is
Huh?
raining cats and dogs, could be.
Okay, okay, yes. No one says that. That's for the tourists, yeah?
Yeah.
We say it's pouring down or it's pouring. Okay, another typical expression there. Of course, that's the polite version. But
The unpolite is pissing down or something.
exactly, good. It's
Pissing,
pissing down. Yeah?
pissing down.
It's really pissing down.
And cats and dogs is valid
That's
as
for
well.
tourists. It's like bobbies. No one talks about. No one in England says the bobbies for the police. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's another typical things that the tourists learn. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of about it, but I don't know who was the one that taught to me that stupid expression.
No, it's an expression and it exists. So obviously, you have to at least know of its existence. Another thing is that we use it or not. Yeah.
So pouring down is better.
Is pouring down is the most usual expression. Yes, yes.
Pouring down and
And
pissing
while
down.
we're on the subject, how do you say "lloviznar"?
Well, I don't know when it's orvallo and things like that.
Yeah,
Oh
to
no,
drizzle. So it's drizzling.
drizzling. So it's a nice weather, a nice word.
Nice word. It's drizzling, yeah.
Drizzle. Okay, that's good for
And
my.
again, sorry.
No, 'cause it's good for my conference to know this kind of because it's going to be about tourism. So
Okay.
there are words related to.
Good. Okay. So tell me, you want to talk about tourism because you have a presentation in Brussels, no?
Yeah, where probably will be more than drizzling time. It will be pouring down
It's
because
probably yeah.
it's always raining in this or even snowing by
No, Brussels, really?
by the 3rd of December. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
it is white.
Associate Brussels with snow.
Yeah. No, it always snow in December in Brussels,
So
I
you have to
think.
dress up warmly.
Yeah, had to be prepared. Yes, I have a presentation there about tourism because we have finished a project related to tourism, cultural routes,
Uh-huh.
and mobile applications
Hmm.
to guide pilgrims or whatever through the different routes. So I will have to use. I suppose I will have to use many terms related to tourism, such as, I don't know, the easiest one is hotel, but for instance, there's a word in the Camino de Santiago related to albergues, that is, I think it is hostels, but I don't know.
Yeah, we say hostels, yeah. Uh-huh.
So hostels.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, I will have to talk about the different kinds of terrain you will find in your way, such as an asphalt, or if it is stony, or
Hmm.
if there is barro, how do you say, clay or something?
Clay, no, clay is arcilla. We
Arcilla,
say mud. Mud.
mud, yeah,
So the adjective, muddy.
muddy, yeah,
So it's very muddy, or we're walking along a muddy stretch. Aha. What's a stretch?
stretch. Pues I don't know,
Stretch is una recta, un tramo.
stretch,
Okay, so stretch of the road.
yeah,
This particular stretch is very muddy.
very muddy.
This particular stretch is paved. What's paved?
Paved es asfaltado, no, pavimentado
Yes,
con
yes.
acera, o
Asfaltado,
paved,
good condition, basically.
paved.
Paved.
And muddy, but muddy is typical in Galicia in this at this
Exactly.
time of the year.
At this time of year.
At
Yes,
this
yes.
time of year, in the end of the last stages.
Do the people in the villages in Galicia, do they still wear clogs?
Pues I don't know. Clogs, que es zueco, no? Or something like that.
Exactly.
Clog.
Wooden clogs.
Yeah.
And it's curious because in Scandinavia, or at least in Sweden, they still wear clogs as regular footwear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sorry, we were talking about muddy routes, muddy roads, a muddy stretch. I wanted to return to a word that I sent you before, which was alojamiento. How do you say alojamiento in English?
Stain or something?
No, we say lodging.
Lodging.
Lodging, okay? And that's a very important expression when we talk about, for example, full board and lodging. What does that refer to? Full board and lodging.
But what is the difference between both?
No, full board and lodging is pension completa in a restaurant, in a hotel. Okay?
Yeah. Full? Yeah, okay.
Okay. And when we talk about B&B, which is obviously bed and breakfast.
Yeah, of course.
Then there's half board, which is
media pensión.
One meal.
Yeah, 1 meal.
And then there's full board and lodging, which is pension completa. Okay.
Great.
And then I just thought we mentioned hostels, but it might be interesting to look at the different kinds of lodging available, because hostel is usually this concept of sharing a room with other people and things. Yeah.
Yeah,
thing
and you
for
have
young kids.
And you have to
people.
Well, and even for pilgrims in the Camino de Santiago, they have to wait. I don't like very much that, because you have to wait to queue a lot of time to get a place there.
Exactly.
So
I think that
it means that you have to get up very early in the morning and start walking, finishing the stage by noon. To start queuing to get your place.
Exactly. So probably you want to offer different kinds of lodging, or recommend different kinds of lodging. And one typical thing there that we use a lot, especially for travel, is the inn.
The inn is
you possibly know a famous chain of hotels called Holiday Inn.
Yeah, but inn is a pension or something.
Inn is posada.
Posada, yeah.
It's this concept of a hotel along a route.
Well, I don't know the difference between, even in Spanish, between posada and pension. But anyway, there should be some official reference or difference, but I don't know.
Yeah, there probably is, but an inn would usually be higher level, higher quality than, for example, in an inn you would have your own room, basically.
Yeah.
And in a hostel, you would share a room.
No,
you would share a dormitory.
That's clear. In a hostel than in an inn.
Yeah, exactly. An inn would be like a small country hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it. Right. So that's where Holiday Inn comes from.
Exactly. And also this concept of inn suggests something bucolic, picturesque, a nice place. Yeah.
Yeah.
With flowers everywhere in the clogs in Galicia and okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. More things related to tourism. Tell me. Ask away.
But we will have to talk about even that it is not directly related to tourism, but I will have to talk about policies in Europe about tourism. I mean, and I have sometimes confused or problems with words such as well, it's clear that politics are the politicos, people that works in policy or policies.
No, hang on a second. Wait a moment, please. Politics is the science. So when you say in Spanish ciencias políticas, we talk about political science, political science or politics. Yeah.
The Ministry of Industry of Spain is a politician.
Person is a politician.
Yeah, okay. It's a politician.
So the people like musician, politician.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the way the Spanish government treats the inns is a policy.
For example, the tourism policy or the accessibility policy.
Right.
Yeah. So policy is more or less the concept of a strategy or a plan. Yeah.
Great.
That's policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there we have, for example, when we talk about Brussels, we often talk about policy makers, which are more technicians than politicians.
And then we have a word that I love, that in this case I think I have the right one, that is civil servants. That are
Of course, it's wonderful. Yes.
funcionarios, no? It's great.
Yes.
Sometimes I remember here the etymological sense of the word civil servant in comparison to, or comparing to funcionario, no? That it's
exactly. The word functionary exists in English, but we use that for a theoretical concept when we talk about the history of the public, blah blah blah. We say functionaries, but when we talk about the people who are actually working there, we say civil servants.
Civil servants, yeah.
In fact, in the UK, it's the civil service.
Yeah.
Is administración pública, yeah?
The civil service. As a
service. Yeah.
Service as a noun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you say in Spanish, administraciones públicas with capital A, capital P, we say the civil service.
Great.
Anja Miner en línea.
Yeah, it's a word I love because it means exactly what it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
It is the environment is going to be the Disability Day and the Tourism Day in the EC, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the
context.
The context,
and the
yeah.
setting. Talk about a setting more than the environment, okay?
Setting. Environment is also the entorno, no? But
yes. But in this case, we say setting, which is the situation, the entorno of the situation, yeah.
So setting, like when you set up something, or
when you set up something, exactly. You establish something, you set it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
from there you have the setting.
Then the setting is going to be such. It's going to be that.
Exactly. So it's experts in tourism. And sorry, is there any accessibility angle on this, or is just tourism in general?
No, there is an accessibility aspect because in fact they are joining both concepts. Disability Day that is held every year on the 3rd of December.
Okay.
And Tourism Day. So they are going to talk about tourism for elderly and for disabled people as well.
We say the elderly, okay?
The elderly in singular.
The elderly or elderly people. But now in politically correct terms, we say older people.
It's more correct saying older people that. It's more correct saying older people than.
Now there's a tendency to say older people, yes, because the elderly was it's like saying the blind. Yeah, it's traditionally what people said. We used the noun, the collective as the the blind, the elderly. Mm-hmm. But now I seem to notice more people saying older people. Okay.
Yeah, they are talking about blind people also. Instead of blind in general, the blind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So adding that people makes it more humanistic in a way. Humanist, yeah.
Yeah, disabled people instead of handicapped.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, so we're talking about older people, and then older people, of course, is a much wider range group.
Than elderly, because elderly is just...
The elderly you associate with people who can't move, who can't do anything, whereas older people are people who are still active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It has a more positive angle on it. Yeah.
And does exist pensioners, or is it just an American expression?
No, we say pensioners. I remember when I was young, we talked about OAPs, which is old age pensioners.
Oh, but it's an older one.
But it's I don't know if that term is still used. I would imagine that politicians are now using the concept of older people because it's more inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Okay, so you've got older people, people with disabilities, and then regular tourists. Yeah.
Regular tourists as well. Yeah. So we are talking about what we made in these special cases. Let's say special. I don't think they are special. There are different conditions, but
yeah,
I never consider disability as a term in which someone puts a a yellow line saying from this part they are able, and from this part, from this other side they are disabled. But anyway, I will talk about diversity. That is the concept
diversity.
Diversity.
Just out of curiosity, I have this curiosity. It's very typical now to talk about accessibility and, for example, whether hotels offer accessible, whatever, rooms, etc. In your experience on the St. James Way, how many of the places that you visited were, or how many of the hotels you stayed in were accessible for wheelchair users?
Almost any.
Hardly any.
Or hardly any.
Hardly any. Okay.
Hardly, ¿por qué? Hardly
es apenas.
Apenas. Yeah.
And negative, any. Hardly any.
Hardly any. Pues hardly any.
We'd say very few. And another question there related to, in specifically blindness, there is with guide dogs. How many of the hotels accept guide dogs?
In this case, I think almost any, because...
no, hardly any.
Hardly any as well. No, because there are lots of them.
Sorry. So, quite a few.
No, quite a lot.
Oh, quite a lot, yes. Quite a few, quite a lot is the same, yeah.
In this, no, it is the same.
Don't ask me why, but we say quite a few, quite a lot.
Was apparently it's a contradiction.
It's one of the idiosyncrasies of English.
Lots of them. I think the 95% or more, because by law.
Really?
Yeah, they have to do it by law in this case. It is clear.
Okay, they have to by law.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So a hotel that would lodging that would normally not accept dogs has to accept a guide dog, yeah?
Yeah. It's like a taxi or so.
Right. But you know this for a fact, or I say dar por hecho?
Take for granted. Take for granted.
Good, take for granted. You know this for a fact, or you take it for granted?
No, I think it is so.
Okay.
I've heard and read about people performing the Camino de Santiago with no problems in this case.
Right. How you say faltaría más?
I should hope so too.
Very good, Enrique. Very good.
I should hope so.
You're a good student.
But accessibility is curious because everybody talks about its own or their own accessibility.
Yeah.
If you are talking to blind people and they say, I don't know, this application from Macintosh is not accessible, they always mean that it's not accessible for me, that I'm blind.
Exactly. Yeah. Of course. Yes.
But they are not thinking about I don't know, deaf people or
Yeah. No, it's a very good point. Yes. You have to, I say, señalar eso.
Point this out.
Exactly. You have to point that out. Because for you it's obvious, but to other people it's not so obvious.
No, and they used to talk about accessibility in general. That is
exactly. Yeah.
That is fair, but they have to be conscious that if they
have to be aware.
Or aware, yeah. That if I talk about accessibility, I'm talking about, let's say, universal accessibility.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Not just for blind people or for deaf people or for wheelchairs or whatever.
I sent you a note there saying pending issue, because I have to remind myself from our last conversation, our last session, there was just two things that I made a mental note, and then we didn't have time to include. How do you say no tiene importancia, da igual?
It doesn't matter, it doesn't care?
Good. No, it doesn't matter is one. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And the other is it makes no difference, yeah?
And the second one means that exactly what it means.
Exactly, makes no difference.
No hay diferencia, no es.
So es indiferente. Okay, so because I can't remember now the exact expression, but you said it's the same, and we don't say it's the same.
Yeah, it's better to say it doesn't make a difference then.
It makes no difference, or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we only say it's the same if we're holding two things in our one thing in each hand and they're exactly the same. We say, it's the same. Look.
So it's correct. Okay. Saying I have I don't know. I went to such city last year and I went back this year and it's the same. Or it looks the same.
Changed exactly. It's how say sigue siendo?
Keeps being. Keeps
good. It's still the same. Yeah.
Or it is still the same.
It's still the same, yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Makes no
Good,
difference.
Enrique.
Okay.
I'm afraid the time's up.
Oh,
we don't have time
my
for more
God.
now. You'll have to book another session whenever you can, whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from Brussels.
Maybe from Brussels if I have time. Yeah, I don't know.
If you have time.
And if I have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi in
And
the
if you have
hotel.
Wi-Fi. No, I'm sure in Brussels all the places would have a hotel, no?
Don't.
Sorry, would have Wi-Fi, no?
¿Cómo se diría? No, no te lo creas. Don't.
No? Good question.
Don't. No sé qué.
I'd say you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
No, hardly any or almost all?
Almost all, perdón.
Almost all,
Almost
yes,
all.
yes.
Hardly any es casi ninguno y almost all es almost all.
Almost all of them. How say cobrar?
Charge.
Cobrar
Charge for using the.
Exactly, charge.
For using the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
In this
Really,
case.
really, that's incredible.
Yeah. Bye then. See you in the next session.
Okay, another typical expression there. Of course, that's the polite version. But
the unpolite is pissing down or something.
Exactly, good. It's pissing down.
Pissing down.
It's really pissing down.
And cats and dogs is valid.
That's
as well.
for tourists. It's like bobbies. No one talks about. No one in England says the bobbies for the police. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's another typical things that the tourists learn. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of about it, but I don't know who was the one that taught to me that stupid expression.
No, it's an good afternoon, Enrique. Sorry, good morning, Enrique. How are you?
Good morning, Patrick. How are you? I'm fine.
You must be delighted with the weather. It's typical Galician weather here. It's pouring down in Madrid.
Delighted. Yeah, more than delighted. You know, I love this kind of weather because it's the weather that I am accustomed to live in.
And how do you say está lloviendo a cántaros?
Está lloviendo a cántaros. I remember some expression from UK. I think it is raining cats and dogs, could be.
Okay, yes. No one says that. That's for the tourists, yeah?
Yeah.
We say it's pouring down or it's pouring.
It's good for my conference to know this kind of because it's going to be about tourism. So there are words related to.
Good. Okay. So tell me, you want to talk about tourism because you have a presentation in Brussels, no?
Yeah, where probably will be more than drizzling time. It will be pouring down. Because it's always raining in this, or even snowing by
Brussels, really?
By the 3rd of December, yeah. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
It is white.
Associate Brussels with snow.
Yeah. No, it's
expression, and it exists. So obviously, you have to at least know of its existence. Another thing is that we use it or not. Yeah.
So pouring down is better.
Is pouring down is the most usual expression, yes.
Pouring down and pissing.
And while we're on the subject, how do you say lloviznar?
Well, I don't know. When it's orvallo and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
To drizzle. So it's drizzling.
Drizzling. So it's a nice weather. A nice word.
Nice word. It's drizzling, yeah.
Drizzle. Okay. That's good for my.
Again, sorry?
No, because it always snows in December in Brussels.
So you have to dress up warmly.
Yeah. Have to be prepared. Yes, I have a presentation there about tourism because we have finished a project related to tourism, cultural routes, and mobile applications to guide pilgrims or whatever through the different routes. So I will have to use. I suppose I will have to use many terms.